Gamers are under attack. Gamers need to rise up because our hobby is very much under attack. We don't really have any places where we can kind of go and celebrate our hobby. And here's the thing, like, as somebody who's been playing games for about as long as I can remember, it's never been, at least for me, it's never really been kind of a social thing, like outside of going to your odd arcade or having a LAN party with friends, playing Halo back in the cut, or even just, playing Mortal Kombat. One of my earliest gaming memories with a friend, okay? Like, it's never really been something that, I'd ever go and, just really, talk shop about the latest Mario game or whatever the new release was, okay? And especially, like, kind of the avatar of your local gamer get-together, GameStop, EB Games, Electronics Boutique, wherever you were at, whatever point in time. It used to be one of the coolest places that you can go. But after a while, it started to become more insidious, where they would be pushing whatever the program of the day is on you. You'd end up getting into these absolutely disgusting sales funnels. And yeah, it just eventually started to become one of those places where you try to distance yourself from. And it especially coincided with the rise in digital games distribution. So yeah, it was more or less a self-fulfilling prophecy where gaming, it would end up just simply becoming a more solo endeavor, online multiplayer notwithstanding. So yeah, seemingly a self-fulfilling prophecy, with GameStop becoming a less than appealing destination. They're going to be closing a significant number of stores and will invest heavily in Bitcoin. Okay, well, I guess that's kind of on brand, I guess. After GameStop closed about a quarter of its locations within the past year, shuttering 1,000 stores across the world, the company says it's not close to done. Well, okay, as a struggling company closes stores, it will invest cash in cryptocurrencies. GameStop revealed in a regulatory filing past Tuesday, at the end of March, okay, that it expects to close a significant number of additional locations in the coming months, although the specific set of stores has not yet been identified for closure. A majority of closures occurred in the biggest market, the United States. 590 locations shut down, and reducing its store count to 2,325 as of the 1st of February. More than 330 locations closed across Europe, nearly 50 stores in Canada and Australia. And my local GameStop, which honestly I haven't, it's been a long time since I bought anything in there, and the last time I stopped in, it was probably, it's coming up on a decade the last time that I popped in there, but it was just all Funko Pops and disgusting merch. Like, here's the thing, man, I've dropped a lot of money at GameStop, okay? I went to the PS4 midnight release at GameStop. I went to multiple midnight releases. What would it have been? Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2? One of those I was at a midnight launch for. Went to a few midnight launches, and that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I have a lot of fond memories for GameStop, or it was, I guess, EB Games at that point in time. And now that they're closing, well, it's sad to see, but exactly what you get, because gaming in general, like, it's not being represented for the gamers. Like, for as much as people, okay, especially, CNN, which we're going to be coming back to, okay, and even CBC to a lesser extent, for as much as they love their representation, their diversity, inclusion, and equity, all of those policies, they're not exactly about representing the will and the desire of the actual gamers that are there, because here they have, reporting this through gritted teeth, GameStop selling Canadian and French operations, a CEO laments wokeness and DEI. Well, yeah, exactly, because gamers in general, they don't like this shit. Just take a look at all of the bombs that are in 2024, and then the ones this year, okay, Avowed and Assassin's Creed Shadows immediately come to mind. Gamers aren't about that. Okay, so trying to push all of that stuff. CEO says the last year company would focus on cutting costs and long-term profitability, because yeah, if they're forced to sell all of this new crap, and I know that a lot of their business had to do with some very sketchy used game sale policies, like if you're not driving people in with big flagship titles, it's like all of these game stores, I don't even know, like there used to be a couple. There was one, oh shit, it was kind of an EB Games GameStop alternative. It had blue branding, and I bought Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, and another PSP game that was there. But yeah, they were here for a second, but they dried up. We also had another, local retailer, I forget whatever the hell they're called, but they were around for a very, very, very long time. But with your big box retailers getting out of physical media, it's just a sign of the times that, digital is definitely king when it comes to distribution of content. But then also it's like, you don't really have too many flagship titles to release that are going to end up driving the market. And that's the same with Hollywood as it is in gaming. And while the CEO is, talking about Canadian and French policies, okay, GameStop is looking to sell its Canadian and French operations, evaluates international assets. CEO Ryan Cohen, okay, posted on X, high taxes, liberalism, socialism, progressivism, wokeness, and DI included, and no additional cost if you buy today. GameStop did not provide further details on the decision, nor did it immediately respond to requests for comment on the sales and Cohen's post. Yeah, because Canada, it's such a disaster. And you know what? Honestly, I got to do a video on it, especially before the election. I don't think much is going to change. Even if you do get a new prime minister, I am uniquely and 100% unimpressed by Pierre Poilievre. And yeah, I'll just get out ahead of a lot of people. I'm not even getting my hopes up for that little fruit, mostly because I already know the disappointment is on the horizon, because he's all say no, or rather he's all talk, no show. Case in point, what did you do with the truckers, by the way? Okay, in February of 2022, holy shit, that was 3 years ago, huh? Yeah, no, how many times did he go and meet with the truckers out there on the street? But how many times did he go and grandstand after, Justin Trudeau, he enacted that Emergencies Act, and he went and he cleaned out all of those streets. Oh, he went and did a grandstanding video afterwards, but did he ever seek retribution, or did he seek fair settlement with the people that were disproportionately affected by that engagement? Absolutely not. But use it as an opportunity to grandstand, and then also stand arm in arm linked against the evil orange man and his tariffs against Canada. And go to hell, the entire lot of you. I'm proud to be an Albertan. I hate being a Canadian. It's kind of like being a gamer, okay? Somebody whose first console that he remembers playing, probably the Super Nintendo. The first one that I remember owning was the Sega Genesis. I have nearly 1,000 games on Steam. I have a extensive PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, hell, even Wii U library, okay? Want to really get in the thick of the things on that one. Yeah, somebody who's been gaming for as long as I can remember, and following this stuff as closely as I have for as long as I have seen one of my favorite hobbies just completely and totally disintegrate in front of my very eyes. Okay, because even as it is right now, with the indie boom that's out there, there's just so much indie slop that's out there that's totally and completely uninspired. Oh, hey, take a look at our retro aesthetic. It's either pixel art or it's just this pathetic revival of PS1 era graphics with pre-rendered backgrounds. That shit looked like ass at the time. It's aged even worse, but now that, because we got this really interesting style that we just aped from Resident Evil, and we're just gonna go ahead and do it now. You think that you're saving the industry by pushing out all that slop? Go to hell. There's very little that's being innovated, and there are indie hits. Okay, there are huge indie hits that are out there. I'm not discounting that, but the overwhelming amount of slop, it does not offset the amount of quote-unquote innovation that is out there. And when it comes to the AAA space, it has been shit for a long time, and the people that are in charge of those studios and those franchises fucking hate the people that they're trying to sell the games to, and they use their mouthpieces, both in, we could take a look at your IGNs, GameStops, Polygons, Kotakus, you could look at all of them, but going back to CNN, they decided to publish this article because I got to do something with that Adolescence show, and I don't even know where to begin on that one, where they're just out there just demonizing and name dropping Andrew Tate, who this might be spicy, but when it comes to masculine role models, you can do a hell of a lot worse than Tate, and I would say that Andrew Tate is a hell of a good role model if you listen to what the guy says, as opposed to just getting his information secondhand, because it's so funny. I hear a lot of people discuss, he's a indefensible, disgusting human being, but they never, ever elaborate on what makes him the way that they think that he is. But as somebody who has followed Tate before he even got popular in early 2021, all the way through until today, and also helping with his legal defense, I did all of those videos back in the cut. I'm no Johnny-come-lately on this shit. I've been following that guy for a long time, and I think he does exceptionally good work. It's the same thing when it comes to gamers. All of my friends, everybody growing up, okay? Whether it was, like I was saying before, playing Halo, playing Mortal Kombat, playing Final Fantasy. I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago when gaming first started, and how it has evolved into what has it become today. One of the most vitriolic and demonized group of people in the world. Honestly, it's like straight white men and then gamers. And then they always just try to link them up together because, honestly, I think an overwhelming majority of gamers are just straight white guys just trying to live their life and, just having a little bit, just trying to play a game and give them a little enjoyment, a couple hours a week. It's not that serious, but apparently, okay, a name that has just echoed in the hallways of journalism since 2014. Gamergate foreshadowed the toxic hellscape that the internet has now become. We are really relitigating this, huh? Okay. It's not uncommon these days to hear the internet described as a hellscape. Hate speech proliferates in online spaces. Algorithms designed to maximize user engagement amplify divisive content that inevitably leaves us outraged. Disinformation and misinformation spread on social media at rates seemingly impossible to contain. I'll just get to Gamergate. People who were paying close attention to certain corners of the internet saw this reality coming from more than a decade ago in Gamergate. Yeah, how the positions of your everyday, your workaday video game enthusiasts would get misconstrued, misrepresented, and ultimately demonized. Yeah, no, we've seen this coming. In which an angry online mob waged a virulent harassment campaign against whores banging their way to favorable reviews. Oh, I'm sorry. Women in gaming and diversity in the video game industry. Well, here's the thing, man. Diversity had nothing to do with it outside of Anita Sarkeesian, whatever her ethnic background is. But you had Zoe Quinn, Brianna Wu, and the previously mentioned Anita. Those were the three central broads, and I know you had a bunch of other people that were in there as well. I don't remember everything as autistically as some other people do, but those were the three faces. Very white or white passing faces. But yes, against women, unless of course you're talking about Brianna Wu, and diversity in the gaming industry. Gamergate is one of the earliest indicators that what happened online could have major implications offline. Yeah, exactly how journalists would go ahead and attack and dox and ruin people's lives off of the back of rumors. Yeah, no, I see where you're going with this. And that a few people who understood the mechanics of the internet could manipulate it to advance a nefarious agenda. And those who experienced the harassment firsthand warned that if not taken seriously, the behaviors underlying Gamergate would fester. Okay, I'm on CNN's side here, but probably not for the reasons that they think. In the years since, as some experts and observers see it, social media platforms on which Gamergate transpired failed to adequately combat toxic content and online abuse, while lawmakers, traditional media outlets, and much of the public failed to see its relevance beyond the world of video games. From flooding the zone to use of memes, the tactics once employed by a niche community of gamers are all too familiar today. They've since developed into a political strategy that routinely used in the halls of power. To use a popular internet shorthand, everything is Gamergate. Yeah, that comes from an extrapolation of the very famous Anita Sarkeesian quote, "Everything is racist, everything is sexist, and you need to point it out." These are the people. These are the people. Your Harmeet Kaur, Harmeet, whatever, man. Just put the fries in the bag, stupid. These are the type of people who are influenced by your Anita Sarkeesians that are out there. Somebody so successful in the quote-unquote gaming space that they had to buy a bunch of Xbox 360 games, and posed by it. Probably just rented them or, stole them from Jonathan McIntosh when he was too busy letting his girlfriend get plowed by somebody else to pose in front of them so that she could have some sort of legitimacy for her shittily produced video game series where she would just go ahead and say everything is racist, everything is sexist, and I'm going to try to point it out. Case in point, look at how misogynistic Hitman is. When you kill a woman, you have points deducted, but hey, you get rewarded. Shut up, stop believing your lying eyes. But that's once again what CNN is trying to do, trying to weaponize Gamergate, because honestly, guys, if we get to what Gamergate actually was, trying to address ethics in games journalism, yeah, Gamergate did foreshadow what ended up happening to the toxic hellscape that the internet is, just not in the way that CNN or the legacy media would want you to think it is. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.